This is an overview of the changes that are coming soon to Aplos NCA. This includes an all-new web interface, as well as some enhancements in the orchestrations behind the scenes that allow you to analyze your data in a stepwise fashion. All of this feedback is from our customers as well as individuals that have been testing out the application during trial periods. So we're really excited to release it to you. This will be available for all current subscription holders, as well as anyone that signs up new to use this application. So this is an overview video. It's meant to give you a few little details. We'll have specific details on all of the different integrated pieces separately. But I think the first thing we start with is this welcome page, where you can start with what you want to do. You want to run an analysis, view your input data files, review previous analyses, run a validation, maybe go into administration tools if this is available to you. If you're not an administrator, you won't see this. You can also go to documentation or get support. I'm actually going to jump to our analysis history first, in this analysis history page. And the first thing that you'll notice is that we have a little plus icon here. What this plus icon is it identifies nested processes or nested actions that are associated. So you can see here was a PK analysis, an NCA analysis, and then we had multiple custom calculations. And then you can see this custom calculation actually has something nested under it, which is that has tables and plots. And then actually here, there is a report. So I'm actually going to reload this report because then I can show you all the different features that we have added. So one of the biggest requests that we had from customers was they wanted the ability to step through an analysis. And they wanted to sort of save where they were and come back to it maybe later, instead of doing just a single shot analysis. And so that's what we've done. So you can see here, you can choose your input data, you can perform data processing actions, then you can perform your PK analysis, then you can perform custom calculations. So this would be like a bioavailability calculation, or perhaps a ratio for an accumulation ratio between two dosing intervals. You can do post-processing, which is your tables and your plots, and then you can generate your Microsoft Word report with those tables and plots. So all of this is done in a stepwise fashion, and like I showed you, each of those steps is nested underneath. So if you run multiple post-processing, you'll see multiple tables and plots that come up under that one custom calculation. And then you can choose the one that you want to move forward to the reports. Why this is really helpful, I'll kind of step back here so you can choose your input data. So we can see here that it was this SAD MAD data set. And then you can actually move ahead to your data processing. So in data processing, this is where you add rules to, in this case, add columns, do arithmetic conversions, do some find and replace. You can do some data exclusions, and then you can also do BLQ handling. Here we call this data grouping. All that can be done, and then you can move on to your PK analysis. And in your PK analysis, this is the interface that everyone was familiar with our first version of the application, and where you define your dosing information. You're going to define the columns of your data, where your time and concentration, any grouping variables you need. You're going to define your KEL rules as well as your partial AUCs. And then you're going to run the analysis. And so we're going to, it looks like it actually refreshed itself. So I'm going to pull that one back up again, and I'll go to the other one. So you can see here, there were multiple plots and tables that were produced, but only one report. Let me go back in here to reload that report again, and then we'll look at the custom calculations and then the post-processing. So in custom calculations, we'll let it load up here. So this is where, in this case, we're doing accumulation ratios for Cmax and for AUC. And so we're going to calculate those based on the different days. And if we look, the numerator is on day 7, and then the denominator was on day 1. And so you have those there. And then after that, you can do post-processing. And so these are the different plots and tables that you can generate. So you can see spaghetti plots, mean plots that you want to do for different days and different cohorts. You can also do tables, and in the tables you can have individual tables or individual and summary tables for either the pK parameters or the concentrations. And then once you generate all of these, you can actually move into your reports, and in your reports you essentially create sections and you configure items in this. So here's our I'm going to collapse this here. So there we have a section of tables, and then we have mean plots, and then we have individual plots that come out. Each of these steps can be run independently and separately, and you can repeat that so that you get this nested structure here in your analysis archives. So we have, for example, this was a food effect analysis. There was a relative bioavailability. You can see I ran 3 different sets of plots and tables. This one in the middle is the one that I wanted to move forward to a report. And so then I actually did 2 reports, and the one at the top is the most recent one. So you can see that was run at 9:14 a.m. and this one was run at 9:12 a.m. And it's really easy. If you don't need this one, you can just click that button to archive it, and then it goes away. So you can filter this down, and you can not deleting, this is just archiving, so it's not visible anymore in your view, but it's still there and you can go unarchive it later. So this is just a basic overview of the new user interface and how it works. Fundamentally, the analyses are all the same, but this really helps you put it all together. Now I'll show you this as well. So this is what we call our advanced analysis. If somebody's got a better name for it, we're open to changing that. But essentially this is saying, hey, I want to run an analysis, but I don't want to walk through all of the stepwise processes of building it up. I know what my JSON code is to do the analysis of interest. I just want to load it up. And so we could do that here. So I'll load it up, and you can see that there's no user interface. You're just putting in the JSON for data cleaning, the PK analysis, your post calculations, your tables go here, your plots go here, and a report. This one doesn't have any, but your report goes here. So you just execute this, and it executes all at once. So you'd initiate the analysis, and then it would actually start the analysis, and then it just stepwise runs through all of those. It doesn't have to stop at each stage, and so you get this sort of single analysis that's happening. And that's what we're calling an advanced analysis. So this is just an overview on the new user interface and how it's going to work. Look for our other videos on how each of these stages work to do your work. And we're so happy to be able to launch this very soon, coming to either your current application, or if you're not currently a subscriber, contact us at aplosanalytics.com and we can give you a trial.